coming upon planet Earth is a time of incredible, unprecedented devastation, destruction, pain, persecution, sorrow, and suffering. It's called the Great Tribulation. I want to give you a timeline of history and show you where the tribulation fits and give you a timeline of what will happen during the tribulation. So, history begins when God created the heavens and the earth. After that 6 days, God began a process of eventually raising up a nation where He could give the Scriptures, the Hebrew nation, Israel. That culminated when Jesus, the fulfillment of the law, came to earth, fulfilled the law, died for us on a cross, rose again from the dead, and then ascended into heaven. After that, the church was born, and we've been in a time period theologians call the church age, where God is raising up a group of followers who will become the bride of Christ, and He's been spending these 2,000 years raising up and gathering His church. Well, the rapture is an event that is coming very, very soon. Well, Jesus will come in the air to gather His church, gather His bride, and take us to be with Him in heaven. Well, when that happens, there's going to be 7 years of tribulation on the earth. The greatest time of devastation and destruction the world has ever seen. At the end of that, Jesus returns and establishes His 1,000-year millennial kingdom, the millennium, and then we go into a time of eternity. Well, let's talk specifically at what's going to be happening during that 7-year time of tribulation. The first 3.5 years begins when Israel signs a peace treaty. Now, Israel's signed a series of peace treaties. This is going to be a big one. The Antichrist is going to orchestrate it, and it's going to be a number of nations. It's going to be a major peace treaty. Israel will resume worshiping in the temple in Jerusalem. Now, right now, there are priests being trained, there's equipment being built, it's being prepared to restore temple worship in Israel. There's going to be a time of Jewish revival where 144,000 Jews are born again, and these are sent out as evangelists all over the world. Many, many people will be saved as a result. At the end of this time, the Antichrist, who's risen to power now, will die and have a resurrection. We don't know if it's a political resurrection or if it's a literal physical resurrection, but he's going to experience a resurrection. That leads to the midpoint of the tribulation, called the abomination of desolation. All this is described in Daniel chapter 9, verse 24 to 27. And what's going to happen is the Antichrist is going to go into the temple in Israel and proclaim himself as God. That's an abomination of great desolation that's coming. Well, when that happens, the Great Tribulation begins. And the bad things that were happening the first 3.5 years are going to be nothing compared to what's going to happen the last 3.5 years. He's going to institute a global economy where you have to have the mark of the beast in order to buy or sell. He's going to institute a global worship. You have to worship Him and Him alone. Institute global rule. You think a big brother watching over you is a big thing now. It's going to be incredible the control He's going to have over the people on the earth. It's going to be global persecution. If you don't follow the Antichrist, you will be persecuted and martyred for your faith. But it all climaxes when the armies of the world are positioned for Armageddon, gathered with the demons in Israel to fight God Himself, and that's when Jesus comes to bring ultimate victory, ultimate judgment upon the earth, and to establish His glorious kingdom on this planet. This is sort of a timeline of the tribulation. This is what's going to be happening. But I want you to know you can avoid all of this if you will give your life to Jesus Christ and live full out for Him today as one of His followers, Jesus will come and take you as part of His bride before the tribulation begins.